I will resume it from the users flow. What we can do from the user section, we can add the username, and invite and send invitation to any user to their email. And I can also select the type, like the access permission, will it be owner, manager, or host. If it is a host only, then they can manage the restaurant only, I mean the reservation only. They cannot manage the floor plan, tables, restaurant, etc. And if I add as a owner, then they have some other access permissions. So let's add a manager type of user here. So I have added the user. Now you can see that here the status is pending, so it means that that user still didn't join on this restaurant or didn't accept the invitation. So now let's see that how this is going to change once the user is going to active the um, the restaurant from email. Also you can see I still have an option, I can delete this user. So if I delete this user, then that user will no longer be able to join on this restaurant. So now I'm not going to delete. Let's try with I will check the invitation which I received from this restaurant on my email ID. And once I will be clicking on that activation link or join restaurant, then it will redirect me on the system, and that user can join in the system and make the changes based on the access permission. Okay, you see that invitation email here. So I was invited in this restaurant as a manager. Now I will accept. I have to log out from this one first. Okay, now you see that I can see all this information already which were added by that restaurant. Now only thing I have to do, set the password. Just set the password and enter in system. So this is completely easy to just enter in the system. All the information are auto populated already. I'm just going to set the password and enter in system. So you see I joined in this restaurant as a manager. Now that user status will change from pending to active. Now I will again join or log in on my ID. This was the ID of that user which I have just added. So now from my restaurant, as an owner, I'm going to check that user status. Yeah, you see the status of this user is no more pending, and now I can edit the user information. Earlier I couldn't edit the information because that status was pending. Now once that user joined, I can edit the information or delete the user. I can change the type here. So this is the search on user list. I can add unlimited number of users and give them the required access permission. Now this is the settings. From settings we can change the selected restaurant information, which we could do from here as well. And there are some global settings for this restaurant, like we are using a time as kind of a watch which showing us the current time and date and day based on the time zone we will be selecting here. So once I select the time zone, and update is going to change here as well. Yeah, it's going to change, and here will we display 24 hours format or 10 hours, that is controlled by this. So anywhere we are using the time, we can control whether we are going to show a 24 hours format or it's a 12 hours format. And this section is using for the date format management. Then this is for the tables count, like this is actually the dynamic number of table which we are using in host. We can skip this one. And these are the event trace status. This usually display when host add the reservation. It will display there that these are the status host can select, and these are the trace or events. So host can add any number of status as the like, and also change this display order, and also whether it's going to appear or not. So that can be managed from here. We have few default status, and you cannot delete any default status, but if you add a new status or trace, you can delete that one as well. Then this is the customer reservation URL. This is actually the front end URL, the customer widget where the customer can make the booking, that is displayed here. You can simply copy this, paste it in here, and the customer URL will come. And this is a section for customer reservation color theme. I mean, this URL we can make the changes. You can change the theme color of the customer widget from there, from the settings. This is definitely a good and important features. Maybe we can highlight which we're not highlighting right now, that we can manage this theme or display colors, like button colors, hover effect colors, and also the main background color, the font color, etc. from this settings right here. So this is almost we cover the owner flow.